and numbers are okay. Good evening, everyone. The 47th attempt, and welcome to tonight's Voice in the Baltic Star. It's all my fault. It's all a stupid little modem thing's fault. Oh, so frustrating. But anyway, we're here for now. If we do drop out again, it's down to that, and we apologise, of course. And we totally get if you understand why we're so unprofessional. It's all on me. Ben's incredibly professional. He made a whole career out of this kind of thing. So really, he should do it. But I just love making the graphics, and for that to work, he has to run through mine a little bit, unfortunately. So que sera, sera. But anyway, welcome this evening to Voice in the Baltic Star. We're doing something a bit different. You may notice there's just two of us. There he is, because we're missing my brother from another mother. Ewan is out partying tonight, and so we send him our love and our sadness that he can't be with us. And he's left just the two of us, me and this wonderful, wonderful man above me. He's a truly spectacular man. He is Ben, and the longer you spend around him, the more you'll realise how amazing he truly is. So why don't you get to know him? Hey Ben, how you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Yes, yes. And I haven't recently moved house, so I'm not having chaotic problems with my internet at the moment.
No, I'm having chaotic problems with everything at the minute. Um, I used to day wisely though. I put up loads of shelves upstairs for my board game collection, so that
Excellent.
that feels a bit nice. I feel a bit happy with that now. It was to make space, of course, but it's nice to do that as well.
Yeah, shelves are. I don't know who invented shelves, but I would like to have the residuals on that, if you know what I mean.
It's only a successful thing. Hey, girls, yeah, we're doing something a bit different tonight. Ewan wasn't with us, and the last little while we've not been so great at planning our Saturdays. We did like last month. We did, didn't we? We'd put a whole load in, and then loads of things fell
Yeah.
through. For I was really sick one week. John, um, Gutterpunks John got COVID, so he couldn't do his thing. Other John couldn't do his. It just became a big whirl of craziness. Thanks, Kels. Thank you. I'm sat here in a house. This is behind me because it's a window without a curtain, and I'm terrified that I'll suddenly see Ewan's face looking through it to terrify me. He did threaten it
To be
yesterday.
fair, I think that's a nightmare everyone's had at one time in their life.
Exactly, exactly. It's just a trope. Ewan's face appearing in a window. The things I've also got a window over there without a curtain, so he could be anywhere. Check your windows before you go to bed, kids, because Ewan might be there. Oh, we can but dream. So
Yes,
yeah,
it's a good job we don't actually intentionally stream to youngsters, isn't it?
exactly. Like, what a terrifying thought. Um, we expect. Oh, well, hopefully so. Hopefully things are going to be up for all of us soon, Kels. Hopefully, uh, your next week brings you chill and relaxation. It brings me calmness and brings Ben a certain level of magic that he deserves. I think.
Mm, that would be nice.
I bet I can
It
imagine.
really would.
We've started very chill this evening, and I think that's very important because we agreed together that tonight was going to be a chill stream, didn't we?
Mm.
I think I've I'm very excited. What are you drinking this evening, Ben? You were very proud of the fact that you were bringing a classy little number with you.
I came very close to forgetting to bring it. In fact, had to suddenly jump off a few moments before we started streaming to grab my bottle. I'm drinking a mug of Scotch whiskey this evening
Oh, the way that Scotch is meant to be drunk.
in enormous quantities out of a mug. Yes, I feel that's true. Yeah.
I've gone for the remnants of my red wine, and then I've got a less classy pre-mixed can of something. But
Ah,
it's in my quarks glass, and I think that's really important. I chose it carefully because we're going full Star Trek this evening.
that's excellent.
Uh,
I like that.
I signed up to this whole monthly subscription thing that during lockdown because they send you a box of sci-fi merch,
Hmm.
random stuff, and I signed up to it just because I knew that it came with two Quarks bar glasses and coasters. I was like, fine, That'll do me. I'll have that. And then I forgot to unsubscribe, and I got the next month's one, but it was The Expanse, which I liked, so it was all okay. And then I got rid of it. I was hoping for
Right.
Farscape, but it never turned up. During lockdown, we were doing what we could to bring ourselves entertainment, and mostly that was buying stuff online for most people, I think. But
Yeah. Hmm.
I,
Yes, no, it's good. A little bit of geek culture is well worth having.
Scotch from a sheep bladder. Ben might correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain you're only supposed to drink Scotch from a sheep's bladder before 5 p.m.
I think that's probably true. Yes. Also, wouldn't it ruin the haggis? Oh no, that's a stomach, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, just drinking anything from a sheep's bladder is quite terrifying, quite upsetting. Just a little bit of nerd. Um, so what we're doing is Star Trek this evening. It's something a bit different. I've got this for my Christmas, which I asked for. Star Trek Adventures, which is a big game in itself from Modiphius Games. It's a 2D20 system, so we've got to dig out our D20s, which we don't use too often on this channel, but we will tonight. And this is special. This is let's all back to front, sorry, the Captain's Log. It's the solo role-playing game. You play by yourself. But what's really cool about it as well is you can play as a little two or threesome without. It's just a GMless game at that point. It's most of that book. It's 320 odd pages. It's a huge, great big thing, really. But most of it's just charts, either pictures of spaceships or D20 charts that you roll to find out what happens. So you're kind
Mind
of
you, I tend to think pictures of spaceships are worth the price of admission alone.
oh, you can't complain about that, really, can you?
No,
I think.
no. And this is presumably an actual licensed Star Trek product. I mean, this is a an official product, is it?
Yeah, 100%. So inside you've
Mm.
got some nice art of spaceships and all the names are correct. They've had to redraw things, so there's no like shots from the shows. But there's there's Geordie and Q. I think that's meant to be. So there's it's fully licensed with all the proper ships and things. So it's a lovely piece, and it comes with different front page front covers. You can go for the original Star Trek. You can go for
Mhm.
TNG. I think you can go for Discovery, or if you have any class at all, you go for the DS9 cover.
Yes, it is. I mean, I'm going to forget this now, but there's a big gap in timeline, isn't there, between the original series and the next three? But the next three kind of all overlap.
yeah, they sort of all happen within a few years, and they kind of tie in, don't they? So DS9 starts with Picard's in it. He's speaking
Mm.
to Cisco because he's got to be on DS9. Cisco hates him, of course, because his uh, his wife got killed at the Battle of Wolf, whatever it was, when Picard was Locutus. So he hates Picard. And so
Mm.
DS9 starts with something that's really different to Star Trek beforehand, which is just like hatred and uh,
Yes.
not everything is hunky dory in the garden between people. So
No, you're right. I mean, it was the concept of Starfleet was that everybody got along famously, and there was no such thing as money or disease or anything like that. And you think, well, that's lovely, but it turned out they still found things to get upset about.
exactly,
I
exactly.
think that's just the human way. They still
Humans got a
shouted at
human.
each other a lot just because they're people.
Yeah, and exactly that. Exactly. And I think DS9 is my favourite because I think it just
Mm.
enhances that quite a lot. It's things like Q turns up in uh, DS9 in the first series, which is probably the best of the first series of Star Trek series, which are normally the weak, famously
Mm.
quite weak. But I think it's quite good. But he comes up, and whereas on TNG, of course, with Picard and Q sort of spar throughout the whole series, right? And he turns up
Mm.
on Voyager with Janeway. But when he turns up to face Cisco just punches him, and he never comes back again. So,
Yeah.
so I respect that. I like that.
No, I always liked Cisco as a captain. Um, he he had some of the swagger of a Kirk without actually being wildly irresponsible and completely obsessed with hedonistic pleasure, shall we say?
Yeah, good call actually. Yeah, he was a really because he had his son with him as well, of course, Jake, and
Mm.
it was big at the time that he was a really good father figure on TV and
Yeah.
a black father figure as well, which was a big thing at the time. Like watching
Mm.
it now, you sort of lose some of that. Whenever you watch anything from a while ago, you lose a little bit of that subtlety of like what was important back then, the
Yeah,
stories that were being
because
told. You know,
the world around it has moved on a bit, so so it's not quite the same impact.
exactly like when you see a lesbian kiss on a Star Trek. Back then, you're like, whoa, but now you're like, okay, okay. But yeah, a good black father figure was seen as a really huge thing at the
Yeah.
time, which was so good.
Yes.
Coach, you're absolutely right.
And of course it did have a few things going for it which make it intrinsically more interesting than some of the other series, or in fact all of the other series, I think. Because it was set in one place, you get this continuity of adventures, not just for the people on the ship, but also those off it. You know, there's a continuity outside the window as well. But but the other thing, of course, is they went to all the trouble of having a proper war going on.
Yeah, it was really cool that because it sometimes in what Kel just said, it matured in the story. Like you have your first couple of series where it's finding its feet and it's kind of villain of the week kind of thing. But because it doesn't move, like you said, you're stuck in the same place by the wormhole. But it means you get the reoccurring races over and over again. Of course, you have the Cardassians who are excellent, and so you get this. You get used to seeing the same characters keep coming back, and it builds and builds and builds. And then, like you said, um, wars happen. First, there's stuff with the
Mm.
Klingons. They're sort of they're trying to keep the balance between at one point Klingons and Cardassians, even though they're closer allies to the Klingons. They're having to
Mm.
support the Cardassians, and then of course the whole big war comes with the founders and things for the last few seasons. It's very cool. He's got for Jesse Akira and Dex, yeah. Oh, Jesse and that Tribbles crossover. That must be one of the best like crossover episodes ever been done. It was so beautifully done.
It was it was self-effacing, it was funny, it was daft, and it gave them an excuse to put Jadzia in the old uniform.
Oh, it's just how they tied them together with because it's all the old footage and they sort of just seamlessly put them into those scenes. It's just really, really good. Really, really good.
Mm.
Oh, of course, yeah, the OG Star Trek RPG. I do remember that as a kid. I never played it, and Starfleet Battles. I remember seeing it, but I never played them. Starfleet Battles was mostly a lot of ships battles, wasn't it? I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and I mean, I don't know if I mean you may literally be far too young to remember this, but there was
Oh,
a
probably I'm very young.
really early computer game based on Star Trek
Hmm.
where you had, I think, 9 grids, each of 9 squares, and you sort of had to explore fighting off Klingons or something by moving from one little grid to the next grid, and then within the grid, and then finding a Klingon, and then hitting it with your choice of weaponry. It was old. I mean, it was text
that,
text ASCII based primitive old.
that was
One
on
of
its
the
time.
earliest computer games.
Of course, they went straight for Star
Yeah.
Trek because, of course, they would.
Yes, I'm sure we can actually find a copy of it and play it for a few minutes on stream at some point, because
Another
people
Ben
would stare at
plays.
it and go, "This was supposed to be fun." Yeah, well, it was back in the days when we made our own entertainment. Let's put it that way.
Oh, exactly. It's like my mum was saying to my youngest the other day. She was at my parents, and the telly had gone off and whatever. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so bored. I'm so bored." And my mum was like, "No, it's good. It's good to be bored." I was like, thinking back, oh yeah, that makes sense with all the games I used to play.
Mm.
How all the good TV finished at a certain time. Yeah, but I do always remember 6 p.m. Star Trek Next Generation on BBC Two. Lovely.
Mm.
And that was my first venture into it. In fact,
You didn't see the original series on repeat first?
no, TNG was my first one. It's why I've based
Okay.
myself tonight. I can see you've come tonight as Riker in season one, whereas I've come as Riker in Frame of Mind, where he goes a bit mad. So we've doubled up the Rikers. In fact, I did the Riker maneuver to get into my seat today. Came over from behind.
Yes. No, I'm not sure if I was actually at university, but I was that kind of age when TNG launched.
Mm. It was, yeah,
Um,
89, was it 88, something like that? Around that, like late 80s,
yeah,
wasn't it?
so it might have been something like season 2 or 3 that I saw at university, maybe. Yeah.
Season one, to be fair, of TNG is pretty bad watching back. There was the one good episode with the little bugs, the bugs that were sort of infesting Starfleet with that horrible
Yeah.
scene.
I seem to remember one with the weapons that kept learning each generation, but I can't remember which season that was in. Um, they sent like little drones and
Oh
the drones
yeah,
tried to attack them and they shot the drones down and then like 10 minutes later new drones would appear that were now immune to that particular attack.
that's right. Good memory, good stuff. Yeah. The best thing about season one was Tasha Yar. It's a shame she died. She could have been quite
Yes.
good.
Yeah, she was actually pretty good. Um, Also, I thought it had a really good pilot episode, Encounter at
Oh,
Farpoint, I think it
Farpoint,
was
yeah,
called.
that was very good.
And not only was it a good episode, but it had a wonderful cameo from Bones.
Yes, Old Bones.
Yeah, as an old man walking around the ship and saying, "It's a good ship, but with a better name."
But you need that.
Because I thought, he was always my favourite character from the original
Oh,
series.
really? Like the old grumpy old
Yeah, well,
boy.
he was a bit sarcastic, a bit irascible, and I don't know. For some reason, that spoke to me. Who knows why?
Oh, we are we're deep into the nostalgia kills. We're wallowing, and why not? It's a Saturday night. You can wallow in a lovely bit of nostalgia. I've watched the original Star Trek, but it was never my series, if that makes sense. So I caught it later, and so I don't think it had the same magic for me. I can appreciate it for what it is, but I think at the time it's like going back to the original Star Wars trilogy is special
Mm,
to me because that was as a kid. I was seeing them every Christmas on TV. They'd show them, and so I was seeing that as a kid in the 80s, sort of. So you're like, wow, and you only sort of get that magic early days, I think. And sometimes when you go back to something that isn't your series or your trilogy, you don't quite get the
yeah,
same thing.
it is amazing. I've encountered a number of people now who are, let's say, a little bit younger than I am, who who genuinely consider the Star Wars prequels to be the superior films because those were the ones they grew up with as a kid.
Mm. To be fair, the third one's pretty good. Second one's got moments. First one's got the pod race. That's good.
Yeah,
It's got Jar Jar
yeah.
Binks, which isn't so good. But,
I don't know. I never really minded him. There's always a bit of
silliness.
humor and silliness in a Star Wars film. There's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's got the midichlorians that ruined everything. But anyway, we're not here for Star Wars. We're here for Star Trek, the most
We are.
wonderful of the
Though
star
you do
things.
understand that we can't really get through an episode about Star Trek without at least an occasional mention of Star Wars,
Nah,
because
that's reasonable.
otherwise the universe falls into imbalance or something.
They are forever linked. So yeah, so tonight we're gonna write up some characters. And what I've got a couple of sheets here, they're pinging up, and I'll be editing them as we go. Ben's got some stuff. I sent some stuff over to Ben beforehand as well. He's got paper and sheets and this and that. Um, but I'll read through the bits that we're going to work through, and then you'll see our sheets come together on the screen. That's my one. Ben's one's there. So one will pop up at a time depending on whose we're working on, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And then you can note as you do. Hopefully that's big enough. If not, let me know. If someone's watching on a phone, it's too small, but it'll give you an idea, hopefully, of what's going on. So that's what we could do. We could do character build. If we've got time, we'll do the ship build as well, and then we'll leave it there. We won't go into an adventure because time will pass. But I thought it'd be quite nice just to play through it. It's quite a fun character generation actually. So all we have to decide on is if we're going to let the dice decide each section, or if we're going to decide each section. It's the old, how much control do you want over your character? I think some things I'm going to want control over, but some things I'm willing to let the game decide for me. I don't know about you.
I think we just play it by ear, don't we? We let this happen to us as we go, and see where it takes us.
Exactly. Well, first things first.
That's a good point. Can you die in character creation?
No, sadly, I don't think you can. Unfortunately.
You see, modern mamby-pamby science fiction
Yeah,
systems.
rubbish. Not like my old day. Kels, are you planning to drop in, or you could be in for an hour? Because if you want to be in, if you're going to be around for an hour, you might as well join us if you want. You might as well type in there some stuff if you wish. If you don't want to, don't. But if you're going to be around for a bit anyway, you can bang yourself up a character from chat, or you can just listen, or if, depending on whether you could drop in or out, I'll give you a decision to let you know. But we're going to run through it, and 2 or 3 shouldn't make too much difference. I just realised if you're here. Nice to have characters because it's always something we can have in stream for us and friends of the show to play through at times when not everyone's available. We need some names though, Ben. That's the problem.
Names.
Yeah.
So these have to be Star Trek names.
These are going to be Star Trek names, and Star Trek names
Okay.
have very much their own flavour.
That they do, but you see, I sort of need to know what species I'm going to be first.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, do you want to choose a species, or
I don't know. It does. Does the rules say you can roll and just get landed with one?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can choose to be one. We're playing. Good choice, girls. We are going to play, of course, the DS9 era, which comes down as there is. So there's different eras. So you can play all the different eras in the game, which is quite cool. You can play from the OG through to Discovery, so far in the future. So we're going into. So you've got the Enterprise era, the original series era, Next Generation era. And that, so this will decide what species you can be because they're the species that are around at the time. So we're going to be doing the DS9, which is the Next Generation era. Because like you said, they will have Next Generation, DS9 and Voyager all sort of happened in those sort of like 5 year.
They overlapped each other, didn't they? So
exactly.
I think like the last 3 years of TNG was something like the first 3 years of DS9 or something like that. I don't know exactly.
Yes, because Worf came in on he came in season 4, so TNG had just finished, and then 4th season, and then that's another reason why DS9 was the gingerhead stepchild that everyone hated, because it was never running by itself. Its first 3 seasons were with TNG, and its later seasons were when Voyager had started. So it never got to its own thing. So, but yes, Ahmad. Yeah. Okay, we've got some species here for the TNG. They've got 20 species.
Okay, for this era. Yep.
Yep. So they each have different attributes as well. So this is something you're going to need to make a note of because we're going to get some attributes and disciplines. And
Okay.
I'll explain them when we get to it. And of course, each race has different attributes, different bonuses. The ones we've got in the Next Generation era would be the Bajorans, the Benzites, Binars, Cardassians, Changeling. Oh, so you can be, that's quite cool. So you could be...
you can be an Odo.
Dupia, a Dupla. Oh, you can't be a Dupla. You can be a hologram, a human, a Jem'Hadar, a Kazon, a liberated Borg, a Lurian. An Ocampa, a Pakled, a Paradan, a Sicarian, a Soong-type android, a Talaxian, a Tamarian, and a Zakdoran. Now, I almost feel like some of those I wouldn't mind rolling with, but some I really don't want to be. So that makes it slightly awkward. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not interested in being one of the Sun androids, for example. I mean, Data has his place, but it's not under my control, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And some of them don't appeal at all. You know what? Just for the purposes of character creation, I'm gonna go with a Cardassian.
So, just for the purpose of this, before we launch into this for the next 4 years,
Because this is it's not just the fact that they have the most amazing necks. I think
oh,
it's also their expansive social media empire and reality TV shows that I think bring an extra dimension.
exactly. That's so many daughters. Okay, Cardassians, a much feared people known for devotion to their state and a sense of superiority. Oh, they are like you. Often adversaries of
Yep,
Starfleet and other
definitely like me.
civilizations. Although personal alliances have been formed during times of war, well, you could just be a simple tailor, for example, and societal
Definitely a
cooperation.
tailor.
And societal cooperation witnessed in far future times of scarcity. Grey-skinned humanoids with ridges on their neck and forehead. So Ben, you are a Cardassian. I don't know. Let's find out the changelings for you. Let's have a look for gelatinous.
I always had a gripe about them being called changelings because, first of all, surely they have to have a real species name. But the other thing is that's not what a changeling is. A changeling is a well-known thing in fiction, and that's not what one is.
No, it's true.
It's a shapeshifter they're dealing with, not a
Not a
not
changeling,
a changeling.
a changeling.
Anyway, I know it's an incredibly picky point to make.
Well, Chaos is a good point. Our changelings are more capable of human features because in the last season of Picard, which is what, like 30 years in the future from the others, the changelings they run into are more can look human. So yes, obviously they got better, but in our era, no. Odo's face can haunt our dreams, just like Ewan's of the window. Okay, Cardassian, right. Because I'm editing the screen, you'll see our pictures flitter in and out because it can't run out of that while I'm in Photoshop. So bear with me.
Yeah.
Ben, you are a Cardassian. Now, where is it? Doesn't have your race down there, does it? Environment. Let me click on that. Ben sheet. Doesn't have a race. Name, environment, pronouns, early outlook. Early outlook. That would very much be an early outlook, but that's something different. I think we might just put it at the top for now until I can find somewhere better to put it. Ben sheet.
I mean, career length is going to be what 3.5 meters.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as it goes.
Oh, I suppose it could be under traits, couldn't it?
Traits is its own thing as well.
Oh, okay.
Right. I want to change that font. I don't want it to be in Star Trek font. It's a bit overwhelming for filling in a sheet. It's not something I'd choose to do to fill in a sheet. There are Cardassian. Let's set that at 24. That looks good. Go in there like that. Let's save that. I should have put in a font that actually you can read. So hopefully this should look all right. Hopefully that pops up. We there, Cardassian. There we go. Cardassian. So then that doubles up my choice. Then I was thinking about it anyway. But if you're Cardassian, I have to be a Bajoran.
Of course.
Of course, there's no way. There's no way you and I are going shooting around the galaxy together unless I'm a Bajoran and you're a Cardassian.
Yes, I feel that's good. Yeah.
We're a spiritual and dauntless people who suffered under Cardassian occupation, of course. Worship
Prospered,
celestial.
surely. Prospered. We're improved by it.
Oh, we're going to get on just well. Bajoran. They're much. They worship celestial beings residing in the wormhole. They're much like humans in appearance, with nose ridges, not just like me, and often wear an elaborate earring on their right ear. There we go. I can get behind that. And I feel that that sets us perfectly into our setting. Right, let's just get that right.
Excellent.
I think we're coming along wonderfully. Now you need to go to our website and look up a Cardassian name creator or something. I don't know.
Oh no, I've got something that's sufficiently guttural, I think.
Oh no, is it sufficiently spellable?
Yeah, I'm going to go with something actually very simple. Just Farek, please. Farek.
F-A-R F-A-R-E-K.
Ek.
F-A-R-F-A-R-E-K.
Right. Something nice and simple.
Yeah, I like it. You have a male persuasion, a female persuasion, I believe, are generally the Cardassian choices.
Um, to be honest, I don't actually remember any female Kardashian
Oh, there
other
was
than the Kardashians.
there was an episode with some scientists that came on board, and one of them had a massive crush on O'Brien because I think O'Brien's the greatest character, so it's understandable.
I'm definitely not having that. No, male then,
Male.
because I actually can picture in my head a male one. I can't remember. I'm sure they existed, but I can't remember them.
They, they have that the little dish in the middle of their forehead.
Mm-hmm.
The female ones are slightly blue tinted.
Okay.
Their plumage, I guess. Could be a cobbler. A tailor and a cobbler together, yes. I, on the other hand, I'm trying to think of a good name. I'm not so good with names. There's a good Bajoran name generator. Let's find out. Oh yeah, that'll do me. I'm gonna go easy. Oh, that's rubbish. I don't want fantasy names. Bajoran names. Here we go. Do 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 do. Let's go for. Oh no, they're a bit of rubbish. Oh, that's a good one. I get two names as well. That's the good thing being a Bajoran.
Okay.
Oh, not Iggy. I don't want to be Iggy. Oh no, these are terrible names. Actually, I was hoping they'd be good. Someone's just like put random letters together and just pretended they're words.
No, it's a shame.
It's a shame. I don't know. Why is names so difficult? I'm okay if I'm trying to make a comedy name, but I'm just trying too hard to have a good name today. Can't be Woby or Necky or Lurcat. That's not a name. Don't tell me Lurcat's a name.
So when we come to determine where we start the game, so to speak, our location, it's presumably going to be some kind of bed sit, so we can do an odd couple thing.
Oh, of course. People won't even leave it for the first year. We'll just order takeaway, and all the scenes will take place in a bed that's a size too small, just because it fits on the screen better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I think I've got a name. I'll go. Yeah. Just check. Da-da-da. Thought I had. Oh no, that's double S. You can't have double S. That's terrible. You can't have a first name and a surname with the two letters. Terrible. Okay, I will be Saska, because I can say that. Saaska. Saska Rawal. Rawal. Saska Rawal.
Okay.
That's a Bajoran name. Male or female? Oh, it's difficult for me because on one hand, two of my biggest Star Trek crushes are both Bajoran females, but I think I'm going to be male. I think am I? I don't know. Female Bajorans are pretty cool. Oh, I don't know. I'll go female. It makes our bed sit a little bit more awkward. No, I'm gonna go. Yeah, oh no, tennis. I'm gonna go male. No, I'm gonna go female. No, I don't know. It's so complicated. And yes, I'm always like this if you're watching for the first time. Ben picks as easily. No, so I'll go female. So we've got a character each. Wonderful. Fine. It took me a while. Come on. Of course, males can have beards. I think. I don't know. Can they?
In whatever version we're playing, I'm sure that's possible. After
Oh
all, you don't let the rules get in the way of a good game.
no, definitely not. That just feels wrong, to be honest. You need to add yourself. Make a note then. Being a Cardassian will give you +1 to your control.
Okay.
It's going to give you +1 to your presence.
Right. Yep.
And +1 to your reason.
Excellent.
You have bad reasons, as far as I'm concerned.
No. They're very good reasons. You're just not really equipped to understand them.
Thanks. +1 to my control. +1 to my daring. Yeah, now we're talking. And +1 to my insight, because I'm very spiritual.
Okay.
So I've got a nice bit of difference already. So, next bit up in our development, we've done that. We need to do a trait.
Okay.
Trait, yes. So a trait, a character has at least a single trait. Their species, which is what we have, with the potential for others. These traits, as permanent or at the very least enduring natures of your elements of our nature. Oh, that would be where traits would be. That would be where our race would be. Probably should put Cardassian.
Okay. So, but it's only one of many traits potentially.
Yeah, they're not handed out lightly as part of character creation. Your character may begin play with traits in addition to their species. These should have a clear place in representing the nature and experiences of the character, reflecting definitive facets of the existence that are unlikely or even impossible to change. These could be something like a disability or injury, like Geordie LaForge's blindness, or Jean-Luc Picard's heart, which requires use of specialized equipment to overcome. It might be something secret or shameful, like Julian Bashir being genetically enhanced, or Malcolm Reed connected to Section 31. It may even represent a reputation or status, like Benjamin Sisko being the emissary.
Yes.
Traits of this sort should be neutral where possible. It shouldn't just be negative. If it is just negative, you need to think of a potential advantage. So, for example, LaForge's blindness has the bit of equipment that also helps him out because it gives him like heat sensitive and things like that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Because it's quite handy for an engineer to actually be able to see radiation frequencies and things.
Exactly. So you can choose whether you want a trait now, or you can think about it and come back later, or just be Cardassian. Is Cardassian enough by itself?
I think Cardassian is always enough, but if I may, I'm going to hold on and see if something comes up to me as we go onwards with it.
Sounds perfect. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do the same, I think.
Because something might occur to me as we go through. If I get to pick a thing and it's kind of not off a list, then yeah, let's do that a bit later.
Nice. In which case, we leave rank for now, because rank is something you sort of look at the end, because our attributes and our backgrounds might have led us to a certain rank.
I assumed both of us would just write yes for that.
Yeah. You especially.
Especially me.
Especially you. So instead we could jump to attributes. Our character has 6 attributes embodying their physical and mental capabilities and tendencies. They're control, daring, fitness, insight, presence, and reason. Each attribute has a rating, with higher numbers reflecting greater ability. For humanoids, that'll be both of us, the attributes range from 7 to 12. 8 represents average capabilities. So 7 means you're worse than average, 12 means you're amazing at them. Your character's attributes define much about who they are and what they're good at. They also rough benchmarks for the intrinsic physical and mental abilities of a character. And they reflect the way you might think about a problem and how you might approach it. So, so they're quite important actually in this game. They're not purely physical or mental. They're not absolutes. So, for example, we give some examples. So this is how it goes. We're going to start with 7 of each, but we're going to gain some. We've already gained some, of course, for our
Yes.
race. And we sort of gain some more depending on our choices over the rest of character generation. So,
Okay. So effectively, we start with 7 or 8, depending on our bonuses.
Yep. And then depending on our environment, our early outlook, our education, some events and things, it will bump some up.
Okay. All right. So that's absolutely fine. I will do the summing up at the end once we know what goes on to each one.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So, for example, control defines characters who are precise, orderly, disciplined, highly coordinated, and possess well-developed fine motor skills.
That's definitely me.
Yes. It's quite good. I'm not going to it all now, but the book gives an example of what the character would do when faced with violence, physical problem, intellectual problem, and social problem for each one. So it's quite clever. So, say control, when faced with violence, they might shoot at enemies or focus on a difficult problem, even though there's a battle happening, so they've got the focus for it. When faced with a social problem, they may remain calm and break down the situation and give detailed instructions. Whereas daring, social problem, they'll lead by example, break the tension by speaking first without thinking. So they can each be used in different situations. So daring defines characters decisive and fearless. When the adrenaline starts pumping, daring acts swiftly and confidently. So that's your daring. Almost kind of the opposite to control in many ways, it seems.
Yes. I'm not sure if they all pair up like that. I don't think so. No. No, they do seem to be the only pair that seem to line against each other, perhaps.
A little bit against each other. Fitness defines characters by physical prowess, athleticism, and endurance.
That's definitely me.
No, definitely. While no attribute is purely physical, purely mental, fitness is the closest to being physical. You can weather attacks and hazards and so on. So when faced with violence, you restrain a foe, resist a hazard, move quickly, use your strength. When faced with a hardship, they resist physical hardship and focus on something else, Don't think about the hunger, don't think about the pain, and power through. So that's fitness. Insight defines characters by their instincts and their perceptiveness. Insightful characters often have a good sense of the moods and feelings of others, but have learned to trust their own feelings when it comes to the decisions they make and the problems they're confronted with. So that's the touchy-feely hippie one.
I think it's becoming clear. I'm just going to have to write down 12 next to all of these for my character.
Exactly. It's going to be hard to limit you in that regard. Presence defines characters by their strength of personality and their ability to draw attention and command respect. I'll hit another one for you. It could be deft and eloquent rhetoric, bombast and bravado, easy charm and enticing manner, or gravitas.
Definitely me.
And the other thing that's also you is reason. Defines characters by their appearance to logic, strong tendency towards meticulous analysis, detailed planning and gathering of evidence. So those are all the different skills that we're going to develop together. Currently, we're at 7 for each, aren't we? Oh no, some of us are 8.
7 or 8, depending on our pluses.
We're both 8 at control at the minute, aren't we? So currently, our control over yourself and your actions is ordinary and unremarkable.
That doesn't sound like me at all.
You're daring. You're overly cautious. You might find yourself frozen and unable to act when faced with a difficult or dangerous situation. Become uneasy in non-threatening situations. Oh no.
Clearly your book is just broken.
Oh, it gets worse. Fitness. You're disinclined to rely on strength to solve your problems and may become somewhat unfit. You probably lack stamina and struggle to resist the effects of physical hardships such as temperature.
I can drink though.
Oh yeah, that's the most important thing. And there is a bar on the S9 if we spend any time there. Insight. Your insight is low. You're not accustomed to trusting your instincts, and your instincts are not well honed. You're not particularly observant of moods or behaviours of others. You may hesitate because of doubts. Oh, you're not sounding good so far. I don't know if I want to travel with you. You're not particularly shy or awkward. Neither is your charisma particularly noteworthy. So that's damning with faint praise, really, that one. Which is
On a really good day, people might acknowledge your existence.
good. Exactly, yeah. People don't openly mock you in the street.
Yes, but it may be out of pity.
Yeah. Oh no. And then reason. Oh, your reason's quite good. You can sit down and research a problem or devise a theory well enough, but you don't excel at those things. You don't really excel at anything at the minute.
No, at the moment we're on very low stats, to be honest.
We need to get these stats up, I think.
I think we do. So how do we do that? Is it disciplines we do that with, or is it do we start at environment?
Well, move on to the next thing, which is discipline.
Okay.
Um, your character is trained in 6 disciplines, whereas attributes show a character's natural proclivities and preferred approaches. Disciplines show the area of expertise. So these are things that you've trained in or developed over time. The 6 disciplines are command, con, engineering, security, science, and medicine. That's the departments aboard a Federation starship. They overlap, of course, but they can take time and effort to maintain. Each discipline is rated from 0 to 5, with each rating representing a different level of training, expertise, and natural aptitude. Your character will possess at least 1 in every discipline, so pretty poor in each.
Okay, so we start with at least 1 in each category.
Yep, and we're going to need to up these as well. So these are going to be going up as well.
So this is essentially we are arbitrarily a bit like an entry level Starfleet person who's done a bit of training in every aspect of a ship.
Yeah, exactly. You can turn the lights off when you need to. You can work the fleet replicator. You can open a door.
1 in medicine means you know how to call on the holographic doctor.
Yeah, exactly. But not do anything yourself, really. So when the story prompts your character to undertake a task, you'll choose an attribute and a discipline. So maybe you'll use your command skill, but you'll approach it in a controlled manner. So you'll add your command and your control. That creates your target number, and each d20 that rolls equal to or less is a success.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that make sense? That's it.
Yeah.
It's called a 2d6 game. So I guess that means that's 2d20, sorry. So you're rolling 2d20s to get the same score or under. 2d6 would be very easy.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy, that, actually.
So
given the attributes start with a 7.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be all right. I'm guessing we don't need to go through each of those 6 disciplines. We kind of know what they are, don't we? Command, con. So it's
well, they actually have like badges on a starship associated with them. So yeah, I think we're pretty comfortable with that.
Good, fantastic. So con is starships and just knowing about starships, really. Spacecraft. Engineering is tech. Security we know. Science we know. Nice blue shirts. And medicine, of course, we know. So we've got our things right. So we're starting with 1 in all our disciplines as well. That's very exciting. Focuses. There's that on the map as well. So focuses. The 6 disciplines characters are trained in are broad. Very broad. Specific focuses allow a character to demonstrate talent for a narrower set of activities, representing specialization and the kind of expertise that comes from deeper study and practical experiences. Focuses are not tied to any specific discipline and can be applied to any task a character takes on, as long as the focus would logically provide a benefit.
Okay.
So I guess these are like, say, like in Fimbria, when Ewan had to prove that his slightly large eyes could affect a situation. So
yes.
Exactly like that. Exactly like having large eyes.
So we can effectively freeform this, can we? It's not like there's a list.
No, there's dice roll. There's a list. There's a list. And this
there is a
we
list.
can dice roll it as well, yeah.
Oh, okay, let's do that then, because that'll produce a character to conjure with.
Exactly. There's no fixed list, but you can. It's nice to roll it. Right, let's have a check. Each officer goes through rigorous training in multiple disciplines, though they may have a proficiency in a specific discipline. You can assume they've taken on other coursework pertaining to disciplines outside of their role. Right. So, focus. Let's find out what we get to roll on this. Focus, focus, focus. Environment, setting, species, career length, early career events. Like values, focus improves your odds. I want to know how many focuses you can have. That's what I want to know. You can generate, of course, feel free to tweak them. Focuses improve your odds, blah, 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. You talk focus. Oh, you can get poetry as a focus. That's quite nice. So we're just going to roll it. We're just going to let the game decide.
Yeah, let's roll it and see what happens.
Wonderful. Okay, roll a d20 for me, please.
Can do. That's a 12.
Okay, you've developed a focus in engineering in your time. Roll another.
Okay.
Roll 2 d20s, please.
Uh, 6 and 2.
So 8. Oh, this could be helpful. So you have a focus in emergency repairs.
Okay.
Now that seems like that might be quite handy.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder whether emergency repairs. There's 3 lines, so do we give ourselves 3 focuses? That might be quite fun.
I count 6 lines on the character sheet.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it's just half of them aren't showing up on my graphic. Okay,
It
6.
might be that you develop new ones though as you play. I don't know if you get them all at the beginning.
Yes, that's what I'm checking. It doesn't say too much. It just says encouraged to create focus should be narrower. There's no specific link. You can just add them when you go. And you can change them as well. So you can if you think something is more relevant, something has changed, you can change them up. I reckon let's go for 3. It doesn't say, but I think 3 seems quite reasonable.
Yeah, probably.
Go for it again. D20, please.
Just 1 or 2?
Just one to start with.
That's a 1.
Oh, command. So here we go. 2
Command.
D20s.
Okay.
Oh no, just 2 D20s. Oh, there's a good one here. I hope you get it.
And 6.
Yep. Oh, you can't get it.
And another one.
Yes, please.
And 6 again.
Oh, decisive leadership.
Okay.
That sounds helpful. I was hoping you'd get the one in rhetoric, but you didn't.
Okay.
I thought they were quite okay. And one more then. Let's go. See what you get.
One more. So the first one's a 12 again.
Hey monkeys, thanks for joining us. We're running through Star Trek Adventures Captain's Log. We're just developing a couple of characters while just talking Star Trek, really, and just hanging out for this evening. You're more than welcome to hang out for as long or short as you want. How was your session, by the way? What are you playing this evening? But it's been ages since I've been here. I've been moving, sorry. I would have come to watch you more often, but I've had a very busy few weeks. And we're so happy to have you with us. We love our monkeys. If you are watching beforehand and you don't know the monkeys, follow them. Click on their thing. Follow them. Subscribe. They're amazing. The games they play are brilliant. And they're just really nice people. And there's a whole bunch of them. And they're great. And they are sweet as. And Croy's in. Good evening, Croy. In Croy's honour, my Bajoran character is now played by a Scottish actress. I don't know if it works, but that's how it rolls in my mind from now on. Hey, Pirate. You all right? Good to see you too. Okay, what's your number 12, Ben?
Yeah, it was a 12.
Oh, that's another engineering one.
Okay.
Okay, 2 D20s, please. But yeah, so there's no role playing tonight, guys. We're just hanging
10.
out and rolling some dice, really. 10
and 13.
20,
10 and 13.
You're good at modelling, not that sort of modelling and design. So coming up with things and putting them together, I guess.
Okay. Well, there we go. without being silly about it, I know it's a
Yes.
random roll, but the basics of my character's structure has pretty firmly come together already.
Good. I'm sort of catching the vibe of him already, actually. I think that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. That is very cool. All right, let's come back so we can get our lovely pictures of us. Let's get rid of me for a second. So there is Ben's character coming together, Farek, the Cardassian, not that sort of Cardassian. Emergency repairs, decisive leadership, modelling and design. So I get to do my Bajoran. My first skill is in command. It's 3. And 2d20s is 17 and 2, which is 19. My first one is inspiration. Oh, don't know if that's inspiring other people or me getting inspiration, but I'll take either. Inspiration. My second is in 20, which is, pick one or re-roll. Well, that's a bit exciting. I don't know what works best as our little team. Let's go security. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
3 and 12, 15. Oh, evacuation procedures. So I'm good with using the
Given
toilet.
that I'm going to be your engineer, I think that's very wise.
Keep myself safe if nothing else. Evacuation procedures. It's a very unexciting one for that, though. I was hoping for something very exciting. And then my last one is science. That's going to be interesting. Cool. 19 plus 4, 23. Physics. I'm sure that's useful in some way, is it?
On a starship?
Oh, yeah, they have to do. They have to do now. I don't know. Everything is physics. Right. Let's save that up. I'll save him for something quirky. Physics is just too big, too exciting.
Okay, so the way I read it, that means I've got a +1 to my command discipline and a +2 to my engineering discipline, and I've got these 3 focuses.
The focuses work separately, so you're all 1 on all your disciplines.
Okay, right.
These inspirations will give you a bonus if something we go through hits that specifically. So if you're using a certain discipline to get it, so if you're using engineering, that'll be that'll be your whatever the engineering role is. But if that focus is specifically on making some emergency repairs, you'll get a bonus on top of that.
Yep. Gotcha.
Cool. So that's our focuses, which means
good.
We're on to values.
Well, that's easy. I'm an engineer. I don't have any.
Well, that's all right. That's all right then. So values. Okay. When you create a character, create several short statements that describe their core beliefs and convictions. They're not simply opinions, but the fundamental structure of your character's morals, ethics, and behavior. They're the things that define who you are as a person, why they behave the way they do, and what drives them during times of struggle and hardship. The character's values
The
are not
morals
static.
and ethics of a Cardassian.
Exactly. Perfect. So you need to think. So it says you need to make values understandable. So, for example, I want to be the best captain. Everything can be solved with diplomacy. Or you can have values, allow values to cause trouble. So you can say things like, if you punch me, I'll punch you back twice. Never trust a Romulan, and so on. Make values beneficial. So you could say, when things get stressful, I get calm. Mm-hmm. A kind touch is often enough to make peace. And your values evolve. I'm in love with my former enemy, a Romulan. And sometimes they should conflict. So, for example, I'm willing to listen to the prophets over Starfleet, which, of course, if you're That could be one for me actually. Like if you're part of Starfleet, that could cause a little bit of conflict. So I guess we could think of one at a time if we can think about it. Take it in
All right.
turns.
Well, if we're going for something that's kind of a balance,
Or you can roll a
you know,
d20.
sort of,
Yeah,
I'm happy to do that. I mean, I can easily think of a few values
go for it.
to
Let's
go
do.
because I now know a little bit about my character. It'll be easier,
Yeah, let's do that.
but we don't have to. If you'd prefer to just roll it and see what comes up, that's fine.
I don't know. I think it's nice to. How about we roll the first one on the Matrix, and then the other two after that, which might lead off
All right.
of that.
Yeah, give
Hey,
us a little
Priya,
head start.
how you doing? Good to see you, man. Hope life is doing you well. Yeah, we're doing the solo game, the Captain's Log game. We're just coming up with a couple of characters at the minute. To a Cardassian and a Bajoran driving around together in an old jalopy.
Yeah, the odd couple.
Exactly. Classic.
Yeah.
Okay, roll your d20 then for your non-decision values matrix.
That's a 17.
Trust, but verify.
Okay. Yep. I like that.
Fantastic. I'll roll mine, and then while I'm doing that, you can think of your next one that you can trust but verify, which you can either roll or you can come up with yourself. Trust but verify.
I think I'm going to pick the next one and then decide afterwards whether to let it do, if you know what I mean.
Yes, that's perfect. My roll is 6. Good leaders get their hands dirty. Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm a good leader, but I think a good leader should get their hands dirty. I can agree with that. Okay, Ben, do you have a value?
I do, actually. So you can understand my logic here. I'm looking at a guy who's specialized in things like, emergency maintenance and engineering, and has the characteristic of decisive leadership. I'm going to go for someone who actually is a bit of a catastrophist. He wants to live right on the ragged edge.
Mm-hmm. So is that your value?
Yeah, he will embrace risk because he's literally looking for an opportunity to battle his way out of it. He
So,
he likes he likes being on the edge of things.
so embrace risk, live life on the edge.
Yep, I think that's who he's going to be.
I just spelled edge with 2 G's, and that looks like some sort of Scandinavian furniture. There it is. Let's save that in. I like it. I like your thinking. I'm going to go for there is a greater power than that which we can see.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Which, to be honest, as a Bajoran is a cop out because, of course. But
Yeah. Also, if our two characters are traveling together, you have an example of a greater power. He's your engineer sitting next to you.
But there's a greater power than that which we can see. There's a greater power than even you. It's to keep you grounded, if nothing else.
It's I mean, it's probably important to keep my ego in check. Yes.
Okay, final value. Are you going to do it yourself, or do you want to roll for it?
I mean, it's up to you if you let me do this. Can I have a roll and reject it if I really don't think it fits at all?
Yeah, go for it. I like the sound of
that. It's an 8.
Okay. I finish what I start.
That's fine. Yep, on that.
Okay. Okay. I finish.
Yep, good.
What I start. Nice. Save that. Let's complete your 3. There we go. Your characters come together quite nicely. Lee's in. Hey Lee, how you doing? What a pleasure to have you with us. Should create some characters. How you doing? Well, Lee, hope life is treating you well this evening. / earlier evening for you. What sweet it is. There's Farrak, by the way. So quick rundown of Farrak so far. A Cardassian, played by Ben, who's good at emergency repairs, decisive leadership, modelling. Not that sort of modelling. I don't know, he might be a handsome man. He might have been quite a looker in Cardassia.
You never know. Yeah.
I might roll and see again if I'm going to agree with it or not. 20. I'll take that. It's quite long. I'll have to shorten it. You must walk barefoot in the dirt to really understand the world.
Yeah. I like that. It's, the walking a mile in another man's shoes kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to experience it in order to understand it, yeah.
What I'm going to put is, for shortening, I'm going to put walk in the dirt to really understand. Which fits. So I'm going to have dirty feet and dirty hands because good leaders get their hands dirty. So I'm just covered in dirt the whole time.
Well, if you'd stayed under the control of the Cardassians, we'd have installed showers and things.
Showers.
Primitive peoples.
Oh, well, I'm spending the whole time running for my life and trying to find all my weapons caches to get back at you. Hey, Myth and Jest, thank you for joining us. First time chat. Big time, big time. Yeah, dirty, dirty girl, older Sasuke. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Captain's Log. I got it for Christmas and finally got a chance to play the character generation. And then the plan is, I guess, on stream when there's a night when not all 3 of us are here, we'll dip in from time to time, run a couple of
yeah,
because it works perfectly because you just run a few little way mission type things and then you summarize with your captain's log at the end to say how you think it went and roll against a few paragraphs and things. Lovely, good times.
Yeah,
we like it
sounds
so far,
good.
Myth and Jest. I think I'm enjoying it so far, Myth and Jest. Anyway,
this actually feels quite fun so far. It's actually more complicated character process than I thought it would be for a solo style game, but presumably it's actually attached to the larger game anyway, isn't it? Similar process.
Yeah, oh exactly. Yeah, 'cause you guys play actual Star Trek Adventures, right? And that's why Star Trek Adventures is this big old book. There's a couple of streams that play it as well, but this is just like the little solo one. But you can use it to play the other ones as well. You can. There's some crossover, which is quite cool. So the characters make sense working into the other game. So it's good. Okay, right. That's just the start of things. Now we're starting our actual life path creation then.
Excellent. So environment next or early outlook?
The first thing, so we picked our species, so that's important.
We have.
We start with 7 for each attribute, 1 for each discipline. We know that already. Can't have more than 12, more than 5. We haven't gone for mixed heritage characters. Oh, we could have gone for mixed heritage characters. You roll 2 to see what 2 heritages there were. That's quite fun. Oh, that's cool, Crip. Yeah, on streams I've seen the disciplines, the graphics that people have showing the disciplines at the very least. To know. Okay, first things first. We've got our species. We picked our species. So our next thing would be a environment. Step to environment. This is going to give us attributes, disciplines, and values.
Oh, well, then this is going to be enormously useful.
Oh, this is where our values are anyway. Oh, well. Regardless of their species, Starfleet officers come from many environments across many worlds. While many humans are born on Earth, many more were born on a colonized world elsewhere in the galaxy, on a starbase, or on a starship. Your character's environment grants them a single value. 1 point, which we've sort of done already, 1 point in a single attribute, and 1 point in a single discipline.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's a bad bit of writing in the book. Actually, it didn't tell us about the values came as we went along. Feel free to change your values if you think that as our game continues that it doesn't feel right. Um,
Sure.
you're and choosing your character's environment. You'll start from either its setting. I know, myth, right? We've gone. It is because we've gone for the DS9 book, of course. So it's perfect. And Ben is just a simple tailor after all. Um, so you can choose your environment. So we're going to choose a setting or its conditions. So if you want to, you can choose the environment.
Hmm.
Let's have a look. The settings or conditions. So the setting would be like a homeworld or colony. These conditions
Yep.
would be like a utopian paradise or a world at war. So which
Um,
matrix would you use? The settings or the environment?
I would probably use um the one that isn't the settings, the one that's between paradise and war. That one.
Oh, the conditions. Okay. Are you going to roll for it or do you want to choose?
Let's roll for it. See what it comes up with. If it feels completely alien to me, I'll reserve the right to pick something instead. But let's see what comes up.
Yeah, of course.
That is a 19.
Oh, it fits. Occupational, well, I don't know for you. Occupational war. I'll read it because it depends whether that's you being occupied or you're at war. Because as a Cardassian, that would
Yeah,
make sense.
an occupation, a war of occupation actually seems to fit in a Cardassian.
Exactly. Though the Federation's members no longer war amongst themselves, warfare is still a part of the galaxy. Local or planetary conflicts afflict many independent worlds, interstellar conflicts ranging from border skirmishes to sector-spanning wars. Um, so at this step, the character gains a single value. Um, we've done that already. It should reflect the environment and culture. Actually, trust but verify or embrace risk. Both they all would fit within that, I think.
Yeah,
You trust those you work with, but you verify them at every point. Oh, the
yeah,
monkey.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
This is good.
So, what do I put down for environment? I put down a war of occupation.
Yeah, occupation or war. What would you see it as?
Um,
You
I
see it as
think
war, I think.
in my case, I would probably see it as a war.
Yes.
The other side might have seen it as an occupation, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I might, because I'm considering just going for that one anyway, because if I was a Bajoran, I was born there during,
Hmm.
and the time setting being the DS9 time is that sort of time. Um, so, war attribute, you get one of the following. You can increase your daring, your fitness, or your presence. And yeah, Crit, I recommend people just shouting out random single words or phrases from Star Trek that get us all excited and make me go, ah, the Maquis.
Um, uh, I don't you see know if it's more logical to bump up something I don't have anything in yet or to focus already. Bum, 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 bum. I think I think if you're in a war zone, the only people who get dramatically elevated presence are like very senior people, which implies that I'm not going to be there yet. So, um, fitness was one of them, wasn't it?
Let's double check again. Daring, fitness, and presence. Yeah.
I'm going to go for fitness, please.
Ah! Fitness. Sorry.
And
Yes, spread.
for
You're
the
right.
purposes of disciplines, I think
You get to choose one
realistically,
out of
because
command, security, or medicine.
I think it's going to be security.
Security. Cool. Cool. Right. Nice. I shall get that on. Yep. So there, war was your environment. The others, the stats we'll add later on. Um,
Hmm.
Now, for me, it's difficult because theoretically, um, if I was born a Bajor, there's not much real choice, to be honest. Um, but the only other thing I could do is pick a setting, because one of them is homeworld, or I could have been born somewhere else, which is interesting. But Bajorans aren't really spread around as much as a lot of other races because they're quite new and still quite settled at this point. So I might.
Yes.
The only thing I could go struggle in hardship, which is similar-ish. Hmm. Your world was one of a few available resources. Worlds on the frontier, isolated outposts. Survival is difficult. The aftermath of war, societal collapse. I could be slightly younger than you, for example, so I could be post-war.
Yes.
It just makes something. It just makes it a little bit different, doesn't it? Than both of
Yeah.
us going for the same thing. But then me going occupation is quite fun because then we can just argue about whether it's an occupation or a war.
It's true. In fact, the idea of former enemies thrown together to solve problems is not a terrible one.
No, let's go for it. Let's go for occupation because it was definitely an occupation, 100% an occupation.
You would say that.
It goes to that saying. Definitely felt like one from where I was cowering. That's for sure. So I'll get. But I'm going to put slightly different skills to you because I think, again, with the two of us, that's very useful. The motion picture, the first one, it certainly had its ups and downs, I suppose. I'll go +1. I might take another daring. That's quite brave. Let's do it. I'm going to go another daring. So I've got a +2 daring now. And I quite like security as well, though. It feels helpful. I feel like we're going to get into dangerous situations. But medicine, it's good to have a medic, isn't it? Yeah, let's go different. I'll go medic for now. We can change things up. We'll change things up a little bit if needed. I'll look after you, or I'll choose not to. I'll look after myself. As you're bleeding out, I'll just walk over to you in the first aid kit and just walk off again.
Just wave it.
Yeah. Oh, you really need one of these right now, don't you? Oh, I bet you really need this lovely, refreshing air hypo. Oh, okay. So cool. So we've done our first our environment. This is a bit like the Hello game that I did with you and different phases of your life. So you start with our environment, and now we're moving on to our early outlook. Driving into education and career, your character formed an early outlook that shaped them in many ways. You can choose from 3 approaches of how to determine the impact of the outlook. The first is you could select their upbringing to decide whether they were accepted or rebelled against it. The second is for Klingon, so we can't do that one, it's for their caste. And then the third is to choose an aspiration that drove your character. What drove them on their journey? What drove? Do you So do you want to choose or roll, or do you want to hear what the options are before rolling?
I'd like to. I know it's a bit of a cheat, but I'd like to roll, see what comes up, and then
Yeah, I like it
decide if
because
that's okay.
sometimes a roll can give inspiration, can't it? It can inspire.
Sometimes I mean, so far I've always taken the roll, but I just want to be able to say if something comes up that just doesn't fit at all, I want to be able to kick it off.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me.
Now, obviously, you knowing both my age and my sense of humor, when I saw early outlook written down, I thought they wanted me to write Microsoft Mail. Anyway, right, I will roll a d20.
Terrible.
That's an 11.
Quick, someone say something Star Trekky to get over that terrible joke. Were you doing it on your upbringing or your aspiration?
Probably aspiration. If I'm coming from an environment of war, I wouldn't be a.
Thank you, Kelly.
I'd be a bit older, if you know what I mean.
Yes, you really came through for us, Kelly. Of that terrible joke. Aspiration 11 was that?
Yes. Yes, 11.
Your aspiration is the dice roll is to discover. To want to know what's out there. I can tell you the other ones that are on aspiration if you're interested.
Yeah, if that's okay.
To explore, to fly, to create, to discover, to protect, to prosper.
Okay, they actually all are fairly aspirational. I think,
Hence their respiration.
yeah, I think we're going to go with to protect.
To protect.
Makes sense to have an upbringing in war, to have decisive leadership skills and emergency repair and all the rest. I think we're going to have the aspiration to protect, if that's okay.
Yeah, it does make some sense. To protect. Lovely. Ah, Myth, yeah. Clippy. Oh, yeah, Badgie as well. Good episodes. Have you watched any of that series, Ben?
Which one? Sorry.
Lower Decks. You seen any Lower Decks?
Yes, I did start. I didn't stick with it. You understand, but I did start watching it. Yes.
I I was not. I didn't watch it for a very long time because I really wasn't sure what I was going to think about it. But because I was worried that it was going to be a bit too close to Rick and Morty or something like that. And while it's got a kind of vibe, it's clearly been written by people that love Star Trek. All the sort of the nods and the acknowledgements are so beautifully done. There's some really actually heartwarming scenes as well as funny ones. Quite liked it. Right, I'm going to pick. Oh, you get something with this.
Oh, good
Aspiration.
bonuses.
Yeah, bonuses. Your aspiration was to protect. Your first concern is
Yes.
Your first concern is helping others. You have a deep disdain for anyone who would bring harm to the people you care about, or have a deep passion for those who come to harm and to seek to give them aid or comfort. You can choose. Oh no, if you pursue this aspiration, you are quick to help others. Increase your daring by 2.
Oh wow.
Oh no. Um, and your fitness by 1.
Okie dokie.
Um, if you eventually gave up on this aspiration, you've gained a more circumspect approach. So you could instead increase your control by 2 and your reason by 1.
Nope. I'll go with the first set. I think.
Cool. Your disciplines. You have either learned how to defend others or how to care for them, so you can increase your security or medicine by 1.
Security. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, I've not because I've not watched any Strange New Worlds yet. Ridiculously. Um, but that crossover is supposed to be very cool because they use the real life actors from Lower Decks going to Strange New Worlds dressed up as their characters. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's in your focus should relate to the skills. I guess you can pick any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Right, cool. I finish what I start when it comes to patching up a wound. My one then, I shall pick an upbringing to go slightly different. Why not? That feels
Of
important
course.
to a Bajoran. And I have picked 14. Well, I picked 14. I've rolled 14. Artistic and creative. Okay,
Okay.
let's see what this is. Oh, it's all gone a bit Car Alaska. Hey, Stormbender! Thank you for joining us. How you doing? Yeah, you're never too late for the sci-fi action. We're always here for you, at least for a little bit. We're creating our characters for Captain's Log, the solo game, but you can play it together. It's just got no GM. We're creating characters at the minute. We're sort of an odd couple. Ben's gone for a Cardassian called Farak. I've gone for a Bajoran, Saskia. Um, it was definitely an occupation, of course, Ben,
Mm-hmm.
without a shadow of a doubt. So you can check the screen to see how the characters are coming along, and we're sort of developing them as we go. My character had a background in artistry and creativity. It's Kel's off. Night, Kels. Have a good evening. Take care. Yeah, we do need a trill. We can get you involved. That was your crush after all the trills. Your character's life is filled with arts and creativity of all kinds, and no matter what pursuits the character favours, they're exposed to the great works of many cultures and given every opportunity to express themselves. If your character accepts this upbringing, they develop a greater understanding of emotion and communication. increasing their insight by 1 and their presence by 2. Or if I've rebelled against it, I can increase my daring by 1 and my fitness by 2. I am kind of worried about my fitness, but at the same time, I want to be arty. So I'm going to increase my insight by 1, and I'm going to increase my presence by 2. I've got an aura. I give off an aura then. I give off a vibe.
Yeah.
And my chakras are glowing. And then my discipline, I get to increase one of command, engineering, or science. Oh, what have you got? Security. We're really short on disciplines.
Yeah. I've gone secure. Well, I've so far only had 2 pluses, and security has felt right both times because they've both basically been a split between security and medicine.
I might have to go engineering. I think we won't worry about command. We'll just be a democratic little ship. Just make decisions
I mean,
together.
ideally,
Show of hands.
I
Show of
should probably
hands.
get some engineering at some point since I've got 2
Yeah,
engineering focuses.
that is true. Very true. I'll take engineer as well. I guess that helps for evacuation procedures and physics, I guess. Okay. And I've got my focus, which I don't know. There is a greater power than that which we can see. That's quite arty. Actually, all mine are quite arty. Okay, so we've done our early outlook. What was mine? Artistic and creative. You did to protect. I've got artistic.
An aspiration to protect, yes.
Yeah. Artistic and creative. Oh, artistic / creative. Don't have the space with this size font. There we go. Artistic, creative. Save that one again. Oh, this can of pre-mixed rum and coke is so sweet. It's horrible.
Not enough rum.
No, exactly. It's Dead Man's Fingers as well, which is nice. But it's just, they've used a bad coke. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, well, they've used a cooler.
Yeah.
Claggy. Yeah. Very claggy. Right. So what were you saying?
I was just going to say rum is already a slightly sweeter spirit, if you know what I mean. So you don't need a lot of sweetness added to it.
No, just a hint. It feels like it's far too much in that. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've had our environment, we've had our early outlook in life, and now we're heading into education.
Yep.
Some characters at the centre of a Captain's Log story will have received their education at Starfleet Academy. I don't think either of us would have done. Others may have received theirs on the streets of a busy commercial colony, travelling among the stars or within the societal structure of another civilization. Whatever form their education took, it will have contributed significantly to your character's makeup as they begin their journey in Captain's Log. Getting everything right. To select your education, choose its category from the following table or roll D20. There's more dice, but you can choose this one or roll. It's either Starfleet Academy, an allied military training, diplomatic training, or civilian training. Hey, lollygaggers! Thank you so much for the raid. We love it when you turn up. When you turn up, it means we've been playing long. What are you guys playing this evening? We're just coming up with some characters for Captain's Log. We're a Cardassian and Bajoran travelling through DS9 space together. Hey, Mela. I hope you all survived this evening, whatever you were playing.
So remind me, there was a civilian one, a military one. Did you say allied military?
So it's Starfleet, allied military, diplomatic, civilian. Let me just read it. Allied.
Yeah.
No, that one's legitimate. That one you can. No, that's okay. That one would be not Starfleet. That would be your own one. So it's
okay,
Starfleet
fair enough.
Academy.
Then in that case, let's go through allied military, please.
Fantastic. No. Then you can either choose which you went through, or you can roll it. You were either rank and file, officer, intelligence, or militia guerrillas.
I will roll, please. But I will re-roll if I get militia or guerrillas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a 5.
You didn't get it. You were rank and file.
Excellent.
You represent the common mass. I always thought you were a common mass. Professional military personnel. A mixture of ground troops, naval personnel. Most powerful civilizations operate a voluntary and highly selective armed force, blah, yada, 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 yada. You've received a broad, if basic, level of training in a variety of fields, with most of your time directed to 1 or 2 disciplines. You're enlisted rather than an officer. You're starting with a rate equivalent to a Starfleet crewman, likely becoming an NCO by sort of the end of your time.
Okay.
Right, let's have a check. Value. You gain a single value. We've done those already.
Yep.
Attribute. You gain 3 points, which may be divided among 2 or 3 attributes freely. Either it's a +2 and a +1, or all 3 get 1. But you must have fitness.
So 1 for fitness.
Yep.
And then I can theoretically put another 1 to fitness. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put 1 into control, please.
Control, yep.
And 1 into daring.
What's a daring? That's all we got. So you got 3 fitness and 3 daring.
Yeah, 3 fitness, 3 daring, 3 control, 1 presence, 1 reason.
Oh, I've got 2 control.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're quite right. 2 control. I misread my mark.
Okay, cool. Right, and then I think you got something else as well.
Something in disciplines, possibly?
You increase your security by 2. So you're up to
Okay.
4
Wow.
for that. Oh my goodness, you are definitely big on that. Increase your security by 2, and then you get to increase 2 other disciplines by 1.
Okay, so I can't do 1 by 2. I have to do 2 different ones. Fair enough.
It's looking that way, correct?
I
It
will
really does.
have
The combos look fascinating.
a +1 in command, please.
Oh, finally, one of us gets to make the decisions.
And a +1 in engineering.
Oh, you were holding out for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too specialized, if you know what I mean. Mind you, having said that, without really trying, I've ended up with +4 in security, +3 in daring, and +3 in fitness. So I'm sounding like a bit of a monster.
Well, security, that puts you up to 5, which is the max. You can't go any higher in security.
Okay, there you go then.
Yeah, because we start at 1 and you've added 4 onto it. So yeah. So
Yeah.
you are maxed
So
out.
basically, I get a bright red shirt and I'm sorted.
Exactly.
Because as you know, every time I beam down, I wear my lucky red shirt.
It's always served you well so far. How many times have you beamed down?
None.
None, exactly. You're 100% successful.
And I've lived to tell the tale.
I'm also going to go for Allied military training. I'm going to roll. The only thing I won't accept is officer. In the same way that you said you wouldn't take guerrilla, I won't take officer.
It just didn't make any sense for the Cardassians, if you know what I mean.
No, exactly. I went 19, which is militia and guerrillas. Okay,
cool.
Suits me. I don't have any formal training. Oh, what? No, so that's a whole waste of time. Rather, you learn to fight out of necessity to defend your home from aggressors and invaders. Yeah, you. Or to try and liberate it from those oppressing the people. Yeah, like you. A citizen militia, impromptu force. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, just like Bajor or the Marquis. Who mentioned Marquis earlier? They've come back again.
Yeah.
Value. I've got my value. Attribute. I gain 3 points, which are divided among 2 or 3. You must select either daring or fitness, because you don't get far without being bold or tough. It says.
Yeah.
I'll definitely give one to fitness because I'm short on fitness. Very short on fitness. And I've got 2 others. What have I not? I've not got one of something. What have I not got? Reason. Oh yeah. Neither of us. Oh, you've got a little bit of reason.
I've got +1 in reason.
I'll give myself. I'll give myself another insight for my artiness, and I'll give myself another presence. There we go. That'll do. That sounds good. I'm the hippiest woman at war. And then disciplines, I increase security by 2. Oh man, we're going to be cracking some skulls. Security by 2, and 2 others by 1 each. Oh, I need to get something. I'm really short of some here.
I'm horribly low on insight in attributes. Have nothing there, and
I'm very
my
insightful
disciplines.
though, so we can work together.
Yeah.
So we might go. I've got 2. What have we not got? We've not got con. I better put 1 in con. We're very
No
short as a
con,
team.
no science, no medicine for me.
I'll put 1 in con. We've got security. We can both engineer a little bit. None of us can science either, can we?
No.
Oh no.
No, we're going to blunder through space like. I mean, I hate to tell you this, but we may technically be in a Star Trek universe here, but we've actually geared up for aliens.
We're not doing well at all, are we? I might do +1 science and just be spread everywhere, spread badly. Oh my goodness, do I really want to do that? Oh, we need it though, don't we? Let's do +1 science.
Realistically, I think we have to spread it a bit.
Yeah, I think so. At least I'm bringing a little bit of something. You've only got 3 disciplines. I've now got 5. It's probably too much. I think if we had a larger crew, you can focus a bit more. But because it's just the 2 of us faffing around.
Yes.
Okay.
And to be fair, the way the disciplines work, you start with 5, don't you?
You start with 1 of each.
Sorry, it's between 1 and 5, yeah.
1, 5, yeah.
So even 1 is not that much worse than 5, if you know what I mean.
No, it could be worse, couldn't it? Okay. Career length. Better update education. Now
4'7".
Now choose the length of your. Hang on a sec. What was your education? What was gorilla?
My education was rank and file military.
Rank and file. I think I spelled gorilla right. Didn't look at the sheet. Rank and file. I quite like this character generation actually. I don't know about you. There seems like a decent amount of depth and creativity to it.
I'm enjoying it.
And we've only gone down the military. We could have been a politician. We could have done something very different, a bit like Traveller, actually. It's not quite as broad as Traveller, but it's got some nice choices to it. Hey, Australia Plays. Yeah, Cardassian and Bajoran going through together. It's quite fortunate actually that we can spend so much time together, especially after such a terrible occupation, I would say.
Well, it's mainly because I've been willing to forgive you, bunch of lunatic terrorists.
Oh, I was just an artist, an innocent artist.
Sure.
I'm only
you see where it says gorilla on your sheet?
No, I just felt it wrong. I used to work as a gorillagram, bringing joy to parties.
Very creative, yes.
I'm only with you, of course, because I need to walk in the dirt to really understand someone else.
Okay, so career length.
Career length. So, do you have a few years of service, or are you a veteran, or someone? So you're either getting it with a novice.
I'm tempted to say quite a lot for me.
Okay.
I quite like the idea, as you said earlier, of being a bit older than you.
Yeah.
And perhaps having sort of flushed out of the military through retirement, or at least some long stint of service before the end of the occupation.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, which would do you want to roll, or do you want to take it?
What are the options for career length? I mean, is it long or
novice,
medium or
novice, experienced, and veteran?
a veteran in that case? Yeah.
Veteran sounds like a plan. A veteran. Your character has decades of experience, served on many ships and star bases. Judgment and opinions are highly regarded by subordinates, peers, and even superiors. All you do is add a value, which you've kind of done the values before.
Yeah.
I guess I finished what I started, probably fits with it or something like that.
Yeah.
So
that probably fits. Yeah.
So veteran. Veteran. I will take experience. Experience is just several years, which I would have spent several years in the career, just not too long, but enough.
Yep.
Experienced. There you go. It's the same. It just needs to be a value.
Okay. So we don't get any bonuses to attributes and disciplines from career length.
No, but we're going to have
Cool.
some bits in a minute. However, this is where I learnt that good leaders get their hands dirty.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was there after all. Let's update those graphics. So those watching for the first time, our faces do vanish when I'm in Photoshop. It doesn't like running it at the same time. Anyway, there's my sheet. We're up to. There's Ben's sheet. We'll have a look there. Right.
Cool.
Career events. We're nearly through our character gen, I think. Career events. Your character's career is a tapestry. There's a Star Trek reference of events and experiences, but a few will have been pivotal moments in your character's life. The character defines which moments of their life are important in retrospect, and what seemed definitive to a young ensign may be inconsequential to that same officer decades later. Your character has 2 defining career events, chosen or determined randomly from the list, and gains whatever benefits they provide. Each career event increases one attribute by 1 and 1 discipline by 1 and gives you an additional focus. Oh,
that's useful.
That is useful. When assigning a focus, you may select one of the provided blah 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 blah. Okay, if you chose novice, we didn't, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so 2, you can do your first one first. Do you want to roll randomly? Are we going to do that again?
I'm going to roll and then reject if it doesn't fit at all.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Okay.
Yes, it's
right.
1d20 this time.
That's a 20.
You made a first contact. I don't know if that fits.
Oh, wow.
That's quite exciting. You were chosen to be involved in one of the most important of missions, first contact with another culture.
Yeah, I was in the military for a while. Why not? Yeah.
Ah, nice. A question to think about is make a note of it for now for when you've got your own sheet. You don't need to come up with it now necessarily. But you need to think about what culture did your character make first contact with?
Yes, okay.
Did the mission go well? So maybe that's something when we play for the first time, that's something you can bring up in conversation, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we can actually fill that in. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's nicer to do it role play rather than.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, so first contact is your career event. Very cool. And your skills or abilities you get for that. The prestige and honour of being involved in a first contact mission is significant. Increase your presence by 1.
Okay.
And there are many ways a character can be involved in a first contact. Increase any 1 discipline by 1. Well, that's helpful.
Any one. It's going to be engineering, please.
Engineer. Yep, makes sense. And finally, focuses. Add a focus reflecting the nature of the mission. So it suggests. Let's go back to. Oh, I've got to go back many pages here.
Well, given that I've just picked engineering as a discipline, can I have an engineering 1?
Roll 2d20.
14 and 11. 25 total.
Okay, I'm just going to squish these up a little bit. How much did you say? 21?
25 total.
25. Procedural compliance. Very exciting.
Okay.
Procedural compliance. I guess
procedural compliance. Okay, yeah,
It kind of makes sense in a first contact, I guess. Things are done
it
in the right
does.
way.
Yeah, yeah, I can work with that. That's fine. Yeah.
Wonderful. Right. Um, and then let's save that and bring that out. So then it's my turn. I'll do the same.
Mhm.
I got to roll my. I'll do the same. I'll let the dice make the decision. I was what was that, number 5? Required to take command. Oh,
Oh, right. Yeah.
that potentially changes everything. During a mission, a crisis left the mission's leader unable to lead. Okay, that fits. This required your leader to take command, something they may have not been prepared for. So at some point, I'm going to need to work out what was the mission, what went wrong. Was the mission successful after I took over? Well, of course. Your characters need to improvise during a crisis, increases their daring by 1. Okay. Um, uh,
You were quite high on daring already, weren't you?
I've now got a +3 for daring, a +3 for insight, and a +3 for presence. Everything else
Oh,
is
that's
not
good.
good, so I've got those 3, which is nice. And then being required to lead increases your character's command by 1. So basically, I've got +1 in everything, which is terrible. That's really not good at all. And then my focus, it says you take it in. I'll take it in command. That makes absolute sense. Take it in command, which was 13. Oh, big 31. Oh no, it's only 1, isn't it? It is diplomacy. I must have won by not firing a single weapon. Okay, let's shuffle those up. Is your mic on, Ben, or is it off? You've gone very quiet. You're very nervous at the minute. Ah, there we go. I can hear something now.
Sorry.
I was like, you were like nodding like a wise guru, but I couldn't hear anything. Ah, diplomacy. Right, you've got one more career event as well.
Okay.
So
One more career event.
let me just. What did I do? I was required to take command.
That was a 12.
Okay, let me just finish up. Lots of typing on that to do tonight. 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are. Oh, you betrayed your ideals for a superior.
Okay, yeah.
You're placed in a situation where you had to choose between your own ideals and trusted superior, choosing to follow the superior. Would you have done that?
Yeah.
Taken it? Yeah, nice.
Yep, that works for me. Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
fine.
Wonderful.
Yes, I needed a reason why a veteran guy would leave the military. That might be it.
Wonderful. That's worked out really nicely then.
Yeah.
You will get on that then. You will get your character. Who was the superior? What did they ask your character to do? How do you feel now? What are the repercussions? You learn a lot from the superior on how to command respect. Increase your presence by 1.
Okay.
So you're up to 3 there. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult decisions are part of being leader. Your character increases their command by 1.
Okay. I still only have 3 disciplines. I've got nothing in the others.
You're so tight on just 2 things. Like, yeah, so limited. But at least you're good at those things, though. I'm just so widely spread that there's no point in existing, really. We'll see. I'm jack of all trades in my way around. Right, my one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it in principle. I think we may have both missed slightly. You should perhaps have focused a little bit more and me a little bit less.
Yeah, no, exactly. Worried about myself more than anything else. I feel I can't help it. Right, I rolled a. Ooh. Dealing with a plague.
Okay.
I'll take it, I guess.
Lucky you had some medicine in there.
I know. I've got a feeling I'm about to have a bit more. Funny that, isn't it? Right, dealing with a plague. Let's save that. I guess these things happen. Dealing with a plague is number 11. Your character's ship was assigned to provide aid to a world dealing with an epidemic. What was the disease? Did your character deal directly? Helping people in distress during a massive crisis. Helped your character understand people. Increase insight by 1. Oh, my insight's quite high now, actually. I'm very insightful, Ben. Very insightful.
That's useful because I don't have any of that. I mean, at all.
I can tell. I can sense it. And I increase my medic by 1 because, of course, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm such a master of nothing. It's absolutely terrible. Okay. Okay. Stage 7. Finishing touches. At this stage, your character is almost complete. They do look almost complete, it must be said.
Yeah.
And needs only a few final elements and adjustments. You get 1 additional value. I think we're all right with 3, to be honest.
I think we'll be fine. I mean, we've got enough to construct our characters around. We just need some tent poles, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. You can increase 2 attributes by 1 each. What? God, they're giving us a lot of stuff here. Increase 2 attributes by 1 each, but you may not have any attributes above 12 and only one attribute with 12. So we start on 7.
2 attributes each by 1.
Yep. Plus 5 is the most you can have, and you can only have that on 1.
Okay, well, I'm not in danger of hitting plus 5 on anything. Well, I suppose if I gave both to 1, I could hit plus 5. Let me think. Given the nature of the fact that I still feel I'm a little bit weak in things like command and engineering, I'm going to put 1 in control. Hopefully that'll bolster those a bit.
Yep.
And I'm going to have to put 1 in reason, I think, and just accept that I'm going to have no insight at all.
Okay. I'm glad you've got reason because I don't have any, but I do have insight. So we're a wonderful team in a way.
We are. We are, in fact, perfectly matched with each other.
We are. I'll never say that in front of you, of course.
But, well, we probably even enjoyed the same, sunsets.
Very different ways. Oh no! I feel dirty now. I'll put 1 in fitness because I'm a bit worried about how low my fitness is. I'm going to put 1 in. You know what? I like all of those things. I'm going to put 1 in. Just go daring. I feel very daring. I think that has to be a thing.
Yeah.
And then, so we've done that. Then we increase 2 disciplines by 1. We have no discipline above 5 and only 1 discipline with a score of 5. So that's a plus 4. So you can have 1 that's
so
plus
4 is your maximum. Yeah.
Thanks, Crit. I'm a bit worried it's given us too much of an easy time. Now I feel like it's not good enough.
Right, so we can increase 2 by plus 1, effectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 by plus
1. Engineering
and
command.
So it's a plus 3 to both of
Let's
those.
go all in on the ones I have.
Ah, good man. I'll take 1 for con because we don't have any of that otherwise. And I'll have 1 for. I'll do science as well. So I'm relatively good at the ones that you don't have.
Yeah, and on the ship, you're right. We need con, we need science. You've got some medic. I've got a lot of engineering now. Having worried about it for a while, it's now definitely coming good.
Yeah. So between us, I think we've got some things.
Yeah.
So we should have our attributes. We should got our disciplines. We've allowed. We're actually allowed more focuses, and we're actually allowed 6 focuses. So we've actually got space for another 2 focuses. Interestingly.
Yeah. Okay.
4. So let's roll some dice. Let's finish
Yeah.
up with our last dice roll. Let's go back to the focuses. There we go. Okay, roll a d20.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay. Yep, that's con. And then 2 d20s.
Okie dokie. 4 and 13, total of 17.
4 and 13. Hang on a sec. Just trying to make some space on the sheet without making the writing super small. Okay. Hopefully it'll be more exciting than procedural compliance. If anything, it'll be more exciting than procedural compliance, of course. So what was the total for con?
14.
Extra, saucy. Extravehicular activity.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yep. Yep. Space walking and planet walking in spacesuits, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Good to me. Do your other one as well. We'll do both yours at once, and then we'll do mine.
That's a 4.
That's con again. Okay.
12 and 2, total of 14. That's an EVA, isn't it? We've got to roll that again.
Take another
go. 16
Mm-hmm.
and 3, 19.
Oh, helm operations. It's quite surprising. You should have none of that skill at all.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. But if I'm out unconscious, you might get a slight chance at not crashing the thing.
Okay.
Save that. Let's put that on the
And
correct.
to be fair, I've got some control under my attributes. So if because you're putting together one from each, it might be not that bad.
Australia Plays, I'll tell you what, there's nothing sounds like a more boring skill than procedural compliance. In fact, Ben's done compliance. it's like a busman's holiday. Anyway, that's the completion of your sheet for the time being.
Okay.
We need to do rank and stuff in a minute, and then we'll do some numbers. But that's looking okay. Right.
Good.
As for me, I've got con as well. That's 18. Oh, I've gone big. Okay, I've got survival.
That's useful.
That feels useful.
And actually fits quite nicely.
Yeah, exactly. That's quite good, isn't it? I'm just going to squish those up a little bit so that we've actually got space. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, pop, oops. Pop, 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 pop. Right, survival. And then I'd like something that isn't con. That seems to be all we're rolling at the minute. Cool. 6 fitting better than me. And then that's something different. But what is it? Science. That's boring. Oh no, it's quite useful though because I've got science. Oh, it's a big number. I've learnt Starfleet programming somehow. I don't know how I've learnt that, but that's quite helpful.
It could be.
If we're in a Starfleet ship, it might be quite useful, that's for sure. My sheet's looking really squished up for some reason. I don't know why. But I'll edit that in post. Okay, there is my sheet. It's up with no procedural compliance. There's loads of cool stuff. Okay, then we've done all that. Now we've done education, we've done training, we've learned about those things, finishing touches. Assignment. Your character's assignment will help define the challenges they face in Captain's Log. Your assignment could contribute significantly to the genre and focus of the stories around them. It's going to give one of a few things which you can choose. You could be a commanding officer, an executive officer, an operations manager, a flight controller or helmsman, a chief engineer, chief of security, a chief medical officer, science officer, ship's counsellor, communications officer. I feel it's going to be slightly different to us because I feel like we're on a little thing, but we are going to be on a ship somewhere. We could be serving on a ship, so however small it
I mean,
is.
if we're serving on a ship together,
Yep.
and it's not just us on the ship, I mean, there are other people on the ship. Realistically, without much in the way of rank,
Yep.
and I'm a squaddy by training, I think I'm probably going to end up as a security person, aren't I?
You are going to end up as a security person.
So my assignment is red shirt.
Oh yes, I'm very, I'm very pleased about that. It couldn't have worked out any better. Right, let me just put cannon fodder down here. Assignment security. Chief of security. There you go. Not just any old security. So you might be all right. Apparently, I think I'm probably going to go for probably science officer because science officer's a little more artsy fartsy if needed as well. So I'll go for science officer.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I've got the science, and I've also got the wonder at the cosmos.
Yeah.
So that sort of fits a bit more than the medic. The medic always feels a bit more grounded, if that makes sense. Whereas science,
Or holographic.
or you are indeed. I feel there's a bit more to me than the hologram. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
For just about. And then, once a character role's been determined, you should determine the rank. Cardassian in the things have changed. Unless you're creating a civilian character or a character in a non-militaristic organisation, the character can be of any rank. There can be a few restrictions in specific circumstances. The choice made in step 5. So, captain, commander, lieutenant, lieutenant, junior grade, or ensign. Or you can be an enlisted character.
If I'm chief of security, I can't be an enlisted character, can I?
No, you can't.
So think about, because they normally stick captains. Actually, the captains of starships are usually actual captains.
Yeah.
So probably something like a lieutenant commander, I would think, is about right.
I think that sounds very reasonable. So you there, LT commander. Let's save up the page. And I would the science would be between one of the two, the lieutenant commander or lieutenant, generally. You've got a few years.
Well, yes, if you're a science officer rather than chief of science, yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, I'll go lieutenant. Seems fair. You can have the bigger room. I don't care. I've lost the ability to spell lieutenant.
I don't think they give red shirts a lot of space because we don't last long enough to really settle in.
No, exactly. They just put you on a conveyor belt. Next one out.
Yeah.
Lieutenant. There we go. Well, we're running away on our own little ship anyway, so it makes no difference.
And you look good in blue, so we're sorted.
Thanks. And you look good in red.
Yeah, I've got red on me. Right.
Exactly. Coffin beds, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our character sheet then for now.
Fantastic.
Happen when the game starts, but we've got going. It's quite late. We can do a ship when we start off. That might be quite fun to find out where our setting is.
Well, I mean, it's entirely possible that we will be joined by Ewan for the main thing, isn't it?
Yes, we can run him.
So we may end up doing another one of these, but doing one character and one ship.
Not a bad idea. We can brush through it quite.
Anyway,
nicely
we'll play it by ear, but we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was enormous fun. Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm glad we finally got to do something about it.
Yeah.
Those are our characters, dear viewers. Thank you for those guys that came for the first time. Really appreciate that. Australia Plays. We really appreciate you. Myth and Jess, if you're still around, really appreciate you. Thanks, Crit, of course. Thanks, Stormbender, always in for the sci-fi. Thank you, guys. Have they? A second edition? Oh, we're so far behind. This isn't going to fit with that. We're always slow to the party, Ben. That's the problem. Always be honest. Ah, we will play this at some point. We can't say where, can't say when. If you're new to the channel, generally on a Friday we play Traveller, which is our ongoing science fiction game. If you like a bit of sci-fi, feel free to join us there from 11 p.m. UK time on a Friday. Saturday is usually a real mix of stuff. Next Saturday we're playing Change Stars, which a friend of channel Lee, it's his game, which got kickstarted and is being released. That's science fiction as well. So we're playing that next Saturday, which will be fun. The week after, we won't be role playing because it's our convention that we're running here in Faversham.
Which means we will be role playing, just not on stream.
Just not for you guys. And then we'll be back the week after for more stuff. If you don't follow us already, follow us. We're on Twitter, we're X. Boys Baltic, BOYS, BALTIC. With that as well on the other one that's like X, but isn't X, not Mastodon, the other one. Follow us on something like that. I don't know. It's late, man.
It's late.
It's late. It's not X. It's not Mastodon. It's the other one. That's not very good advertising for them. But yeah, follow us on those, and we'll update and let people know what we're doing on a week-by-week basis. Thank you very much, all you guys. We really appreciate you joining us. I hope you enjoyed our little jaunt through, and we didn't ruin everything too much. Good night, y'all. Well, good night, Ben.
Good night, and thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Good night. See you well, guys. Bye.